Welcome to SSH Quick. My name is John, and today I'll show you how to authenticate to a remote SSH server using a smart card from WSL. If you install OpenSC for Windows, you can use a smart card from the built-in Windows SSH. It should work out of the box on Windows 11, but you may have to update OpenSSH on Windows 10. This is easier in most cases, but there are plenty of reasons you may want to use WSL SSH instead. Maybe you don't want to maintain multiple configurations, or you just prefer WSL over PowerShell. Let's see how to make it work. The first step is to install USBIPD-WIN, a tool for passing USB devices to the WSL kernel. Let's open a browser and search for USBIPD. We're looking for this GitHub page, dorsal USBIPD-WIN. We're going to scroll down on this page to find the latest release link. On here, we'll download this USBIPD-410 MSI file. Once we have that, let's run the installer. We'll open the file, and we'll go ahead and say install. Press yes when prompted by UAC, and go ahead and close this. We need to make sure WSL is running before we can attach the smart card reader. So let's start a terminal first. I'm going to right-click and select Terminal Admin, because we'll need an admin PowerShell terminal as well. Go ahead and say yes. And then let's do the drop down and open a Windows PowerShell as admin. We can run USBIPD list to show our USB devices. You can see bus ID 9-16 is the device ID for the smart card reader I want to use. Let's go ahead and bind that to USBIPD. This part must be done as an administrator, but it only has to be done once. You can attach and detach devices as a regular user. To bind the device, we'll type USBIPD bind bus ID 9-16. Make sure it matches your bus ID for your smart card reader. Once we have it bound, we can attach it to WSL by running USBIPD attach bus ID 9-16 WSL. There we go. Everything should be attached now. Let's return to our WSL terminal. We need to install some packages. Let's do sudo apt install -y USB utils, SSH, and OpenSC. Go ahead and enter my sudo password. Now that the packages are installed, let's test to see that it works. I'm going to run sudo ls usb. And you can see we do have the smart card reader available in Linux now. Let's see if we can use it with SSH. Linux needs the PCSC daemon to be running to interact with the reader. We can start that with sudo pcscd. It's difficult to auto-start this service because launching pcscd before the card is passed to WSL will cause the daemon to get stuck throwing errors. And you have to start WSL before you can pass the smart card reader. If you have a solution to this chicken and egg problem, leave me a comment. The last thing to do is to test that it works. Let's make sure I have a .sh directory, and I will edit my sh config. We're going to make a host. I'm going to call it jump host. I'm going to put some properties in here, my username that I'm going to blur out, and the host name that I'm also going to blur out. The important thing we need to do is add this pkcs11 provider property. and we need to supply it with the path of the OpenSC PKCS11 library. On Debian and Ubuntu, that can be found in /user lib x86_64 -linux-gnu /opensc-pkcs11.so. Let's go ahead and save that file, and let's see if we can SSH into the jump host. I'll run SSH jump host. It prompts me for the key, so I'll say yes. And it asks me for the PIN for my smart card. And everything is working. And that's how you can use a smart card authentication in WSL. Thanks for watching.